You might think it's just a habit, but when your cat keeps licking your hand over and over, it means something. Number 1. Affection and bonding. You know that thing the news does, where they do all the depressing stuff first, but then there's a little light-hearted story at the end? Today we're going to do the reverse of that. Let's start with the good news. One of the reasons your cat might lick you is that it just simply is a sign of affection. Yay, love! You might have heard of grooming, but if not, this is when an entire cat litter grooms one another in order to reinforce the social bonds between them. Think of it as being like going on vacation with a group of friends or going to brunch with your pals in order to enforce your bond. But for cats, instead of getting together to gossip and drink prosciutto with avocado on toast, they lick one another. You only go for brunch or a drink down the pub with the people you love the most. You only behave like that with the friends that you deem more than friends, the ones you consider your family. An invitation to a friend to get together for food and chit-chat is a human way of saying, "Hey, you're family to me. You're part of my group. I trust you. I love you." Your cat's version of that is a simple lick. That is their version of, and I know this sounds weird, but that is their version of inviting you out for brunch. If they then go a step further and escalate the affection to include purring, kneading, or even snuggling, well, that is a lick that is so much more than a splash of affection. That is a full-blown welcome to the inner circle. That means you are a lot more than just a passing acquaintance who might get a Christmas card every year. That makes you one of their best buds. Number 2, scent and territory marking. I've talked a lot on this channel about how much of the way a cat navigates their way through the world hinges on smell. I've told you all, with my infinite wisdom and endless charm, about how cat faces are full of scent glands. So that little cute thing they do, where they butt their head into you, is all about spreading their smell onto you. It's a way of leaving their signature on you, so that they can claim you as their property. It's possessive, borderline problematic, but unless your house has a head of HR who can speak cat, you're just going to have to accept that that's how they are. But there is something I failed to mention in those other videos. A cat also has scent glands in their tongue. So yes, sometimes when they lick you, they are spreading their scent onto you and claiming you as theirs. They are depositing their scent onto your skin, mingling it with yours. It's yet another way cats have of saying, "You belong with me. You belong to me." Using licking as a way of claiming a pet parent as their property is very common in cats that are highly bonded to their owner. So if your cat is the more independent type, this might not be something they do. But if you've got a fluffy little snugglebug, the sort of cat who follows you around and always wants to be all up in your grill, well, then you have a cat who might also be prone to licking their stench signature all over you. Number 3, comfort and self-soothing. The thing is, here I am rattling on about what your cat licking you might mean about their relationship with you. And sure, that is what the video is supposed to be about. But sometimes it has nothing to do with you. Sometimes it's about themselves. Sometimes because they lick you repetitively, not to show love to you, but to comfort themselves. Sort of like self-soothing behavior. It may seem odd to say that. To calm ourselves down when feeling anxious, they lick you. Because if a human were to process their distress by licking the skin of a friend, you would quite rightly call them odd. But it's essentially comparable to human habits like biting nails, twirling your hair, or fidgeting with objects. It's a simple coping mechanism. If your cat keeps licking you, it might just be their coping mechanism when they're anxious, bored, or just generally overwhelmed. If you notice your cat doing this more often during or just after a major change in their life, this might be what's going on. Classic examples would be a move to a new home, the addition of a new pet to the house, visitors, or even something as small as rearranged furniture. It might seem odd to say moving your furniture can stress your cat out, but think of it from their point of view. Your house is their whole world. To them, furniture moving around is like what buildings moving around would feel like to you. And that would more than stress me out, man. That'd be a nightmare. Not to get too armchair psychologist about this, but come on. Literally, the whole point of this channel is to psychoanalyze cats. But in such a situation, repeated licking becomes their emotional safety net. It's soothing, it's predictable, and it's something they can control in an unpredictable world. Number 4. Stress or overstimulation signals. Sometimes licking your hand is also a warning. If you're petting your cat and they suddenly start licking you insistently, especially in a quick, almost frantic way, a lick of your hand might mean, yo, I'm getting overstimulated. It would be quite good if this came to an end now. Cats are sensitive. Everything feels significantly more intense to them. That's why they love a good petting session so much. That's why they love a good scratch so much. But it's also why they might freak out and run away if you keep petting them. Because you might have crossed a line where the amount of touch is now too much, and they feel the need to make like a guillotine and head off. In such a situation, licking can be an example of what's known as displacement behavior. This is an instinctive action that happens when they're conflicted, a way of saying, listen, I like you, I do, but this is all getting a bit too much right now. Could you wind it up? A way of requesting you to stop without getting up and leaving, because they don't want to leave you. They love you. They are enjoying your company. They just want the touch to stop. And I totally get that. You might be hugging a partner while watching a movie, and it's kind of too warm, so you want the hug to stop. But you still want to be on the couch watching Hunger Games with them. Never ever take this as a sign that your cat is rejecting you. Don't be hurt by this or feel like you failed. It's actually a really good sign because it shows that your fluff ball feels that if they ask you to stop, you will. And it shows that even when feeling overstimulated, they still want to be with you. If you are giving your cat a lot of physical attention and then they start frantically licking you, it may be a sign to rein it in. And that is something you should respect because if you don't, they may escalate their attempts to prove how they feel by swatting, biting, or even scratching. Given how many different interpretations there are for why a cat might lick you, I mean, we've still got more to go. It can be hard to tell if this is what's going down, but the key, as per always, is context clues. If the licking is accompanied by tail flicking, flattened ears, or twitchy skin, that's a real sign they are trying to ask you to stop. So listen before they turn nasty on you. Number 5. Attention-seeking behavior. When it comes to analyzing why a cat does anything or why any living creature does anything, it's easy to fall into the trap that there's always a big meaning. But sometimes they do things for no real reason. Sometimes they just want someone, anyone, but especially you, to notice them. This is a classic example of learned behavior. Your cat might have learned that licking your hand will get you to pet them, talk to them, or even give them treats. If you've done any of those things on previous occasions when they have licked you, this will have taught them that licking leads to reward. Cats are smart, and they have no problem using their cuteness as a tool. That joke from Shrek 2 where Puss in Boots uses his big cute eyes to get what he wants is very much rooted in fact. If your cat tends to lick you at specific times, like when you're on your phone, working on your laptop, or watching TV, they might just be trying to steal back your focus. It's not aggressive. It's more like a subtle way of saying, hey, remember me? If I'm honest about this, it's actually kinda genius. They lick, but what about when they touch you with their paw? That's where things get even stranger. Watch this next.